Welcome. Welcome to Thoughts Roundup. Well, thank you for being on the program with me today. I appreciate it. Got a lot of faithful followers out there. You're sticking with me, and when I go to churches, people come up and say, I'll listen. In fact, the church this morning, they let me know that they had been watching, several of them. The members have with me today Elder Bishop Reverend Bob Thornton. And Brother Thornton, thank you for being on the program.
Thank you.
I think you're going to have to bring your voice up just a little bit.
All righty, I can do that.
Okay, you may have to get into the preaching mode.
Okay.
But it's so good to have you on the program today. I've been wanting you to be with me, and several years ago I got a chance to meet you, and I've been talking to him about your abilities. And so thank you for taking your time out.
Happy to do it, Brother Marler.
Thank you very much. Now, you started, the church name here is?
Harvest Tabernacle.
Harvest Tabernacle.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds neat. And you were the person that started this church.
Yes, sir. 1965, Easter Sunday was our first service.
Oh.
I was 24 years old, and we had 13.
13 people.
Yep.
Well, the auditorium was full today, and we had some in the balcony, or almost full, and we had folks in the balcony.
Yes, sir.
And that must be quite a feeling of accomplishment for you.
Well, God's good.
You showed me a man's house yesterday that helped you somewhat.
Yes, Mr. Sneed, he lived in the house just across the street from the church.
And just quickly, we can't go into it a lot, but just quickly, tell me that little story there.
Well, this property that church is sitting on had a sign 4x8 sheet of plywood and said property for sale.
Yeah.
And of course we was looking for a place to build a church. We was in an old building downtown. We'd been here 6 years. And so I stopped and was just kind of looking at the property, and Mr. Sneed, who lived across the street, came out, and I told him we was looking for land to build a church. And so he wanted to sell me this property. And he said, give me $75 down, $75 a month. And so we made 2 payments, and he kindly chewed me out. He said, I thought you was going to build a church.
Yeah.
I said, we got to get the land paid off, because we're poor
That
folks.
big debt,
Yeah, don't have no money. He said, we like a lot being broke, just get started.
Just get going.
So we started pouring concrete and didn't really have nothing signed or in writing. But after about 90 days, he come over and he said, has the wolves been howling at your door? And I said, no, but I hear them in the distance. And he wanted to know how much it'd take to pay all of our bills. So he loaned us the money to build the church.
That is so super. Well, now, how long have you been preaching now? That would be how long?
Well, we started in 65, so that'd be 35 and 25.
Yeah.
60 years plus.
Well, I might as well get to it, because that's one of the big reasons why, not only the fact that we admire what you did with the church, starting the church, but your ability to quote poetry. I know only 2 people that can do what you can do with. Of course, I know we have the cowboy poets and all that kind of thing, going, but for me to personally know, and I've been in the business a long time, as you can see.
Yeah.
But you and a guy by the name, a preacher by the name of Pete Green in Leesville, Louisiana, y'all are the best at quoting I've ever seen.
Well, you're so kind.
And the best. He could, they said he would get a poem and he would be driving along, reading it, and then throw it out the window and he had it. So, you know, I admire anybody that has a memory, because I never had the memory that I wanted. A lot of people would ask me, what would you ask for if you could ask for one thing and get it? I'd say memory.
Right.
So I want you to just quote. And I think I'll have another program and ask you to do the same thing again. So quote us a good poem. You don't mind, do you?
No.
Okay, all right.
Tom Gray lay drunk on the barroom floor. He drank so much he couldn't drink anymore. He fell asleep with a troubled brain, and he took a ride on a hell-bound train. The engine with blood was red and damp, and brightly lit with a brimstone lamp. An imp for fuel was a shoveling bones, and the rage of the engine made 1,000 groans. Wilder and wilder the country became, hotter and hotter the air became, till it scorched the foe from each quivering frame. Then off in the distance they heard such a yell. Ha ha, chuckled the devil, we're nearing hell. The passengers all stricken with pain, they begged the devil to stop the train. But he capered about and sang with glee, and he laughed and mocked at their agony. He said, my faithful friends, you've paid full fare, so I'll land you safe in the lake of fire. Tom Gray awoke, his hair was standing high, but never again did he ever take that ride.
Well, I'll give you a good hand. That is so neat. That is so neat. Well, thank you so much for being with me, and we will, let's give a address to the church.
927 Fowler Street, Lebanon, Missouri.
Lebanon.
Yeah, 65722 is the zip code.
All right. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Good to be with you, Brother Marler.
God bless you.